Okay, let's give it a second. I don't think we're actually, there we go. We should be live now, if that is correct. Hello, hello. I don't see us in the group, but if you're there, let us know. I feel like I hear that echo that I heard last time when we were live. Was that with
Do
you?
you have Facebook up? Yeah, it was with me.
I do, but it's muted. So, okay, I think we're live, everybody, and hopefully, the echo is only distracting to me and not to all of you. There we go. We are live. Okay.
Yay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Redefining Entrepreneurship. And I have a little echo, so my apologies. But today we are talking about aligning your offers to your audience so that they sell like crazy. And this is like I just got done with like a 2-hour coaching session with my mastermind group where we talked a lot about this. And I talk a lot about this a lot. So I'm really excited for this topic because, that alignment, I feel like is a little bit of an overused word. You might agree. I don't know. But I do think that it is important, and I want to talk about it in terms of like our offers today and how that really impacts the way your sales are going for you. So, yay. So by the way, welcome to Redefining Entrepreneurship with your favorite people. Well, sorry, Jamie, you're also a favorite, but she doesn't do this show. So your 2 favorite people that do this show. So welcome, everybody. My question, if you are watching live replay, well, if you're watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay. But I want to know, is your offer aligning to your audience? And you may not be able to answer that yet, but is your offer selling the way that you want it to? Or offers, because you might have multiple. So, if you're watching again live, let us know. There's no judgment here, so that's okay. And sometimes have issues seeing comments coming through from other platforms. So if you're on LinkedIn, well, just join us in the Facebook group. It's called the Success Zone. Join us there because that's where we're going to make sure that we see your comments and we'll be able to respond to them. But so are your offers selling the way you want them to? Let us know in the comments if you're live. And again, watching the replay, let us know as well. So the reason I asked that is because if they're not, it may not be the reason that you think, hence what we're talking about for that happening. Because a lot of times when people's offers aren't selling like they want to, you jump right to, well, I must be have the wrong method, right? And then you go and you try to teach yourself something new, or you go buy this, or you download freebies and try to figure out all the problems. But the first thing that you need to be asking yourself when you're just like, it's not selling is, do I have the right audience? Do I know who my audience actually is? And is that audience that I'm selling, the audience that I'm actually selling to, the people who I want to sell to? So I know you haven't talked at all, Mara. I've just been
so. You're fine. I'm just going to nod my head. But no, I have a lot to say on it. But yeah, it is really, is the audience you have, thank you, Apple, is the audience that you have who you want to sell to? Is your offer what they actually need? Mm-hmm. And is your offer aligned to your superpower? If your offer is aligned to your superpower, this is where you have to go through this whole process. You have to ask yourself all these questions. If your offer is actually aligned to your superpower, like it is you all balled up in an offer, like your superpower, your amazingness, but you're not selling it to your audience, then actually you don't have the right audience, or your offer and your superpower isn't for that audience, and you actually have a whole different ideal client that you're not even clear on yet. That's number one.
Yeah. And that's big. So I want to talk about that one. So I know we kind of said what we'll be discussing about is discussing. Oh my God, that was so not proper English, but you know what I'm talking about. Why?
It's been a long week so far. Has anyone else had a really long week this week?
Yeah, and
I hope I'm not the only one.
it's only Wednesday. It's not even
I
like, I mean, technically, I guess we're, hump day, whatever, but,
Yeah.
hump day and it's
Stay right inside. Hope everyone else is getting through their week really well.
But, okay, so ultimately, like, why your dream client isn't buying your offers all the time. So to your point, what you said there, Mara, was, you may not have the right people in your audience, or you're not speaking to the right people. So why your dream client isn't buying your offers all the time. I want to start by saying, who is the dream client? Because to some of you, you might not actually recognize what that means. Because your dream client is, I interchange dream client, ideal client, perfect fit client, person, etc. But those are all the same people. And you might say, okay, I like to work with female entrepreneurs, service providers, great. But that's not really your dream client. That's a part of who they are. That's not who they are. And if you're just trying to sell your offers to every single female entrepreneur, nobody, I mean, I won't say nobody, because you should be making some sales at least, right? So some people are buying, but you probably are finding that the people are buying from you aren't actually the people that you had intended to sell your offer to, that you had intended coming into the program. You might find that you're attracting people that are either like way below who you expected, like where they were in their business or their life, or people who are way further along than what you had, thought. And the reason this is happening is because you are not speaking that dream client's language. And I'm not talking, I know we've talked about this before, but speaking the client language isn't necessarily the things that you're saying. And if your offer is made for that dream client, but you keep calling in the people who make you want to push pins in your eyes when you talk to them, or the people who aren't taking action, the people that don't get results, is because you're talking to those people. You're speaking their language in your content. And therefore, it doesn't matter how perfect your offer is for that other person that you want to work with. They're not buying because they don't actually see the reason that they should. So when it comes to aligning your offers to your audience so that they sell like crazy, it's sometimes adjusting your offer, but oftentimes it's just adjusting your messaging so that people actually understand why your offer is even valuable for them.
Exactly. You have to get clear to who you're selling to. But then, once you create that offer that's like you and your super genius in an offer, there's step one. Then step two is, okay, well, great. Then there's my superpower. Like, who is that for? Like, who's my ideal client? Who would I just replicate and clone 5,000 times and work with them over and over again and never get frustrated and be super happy all of the freaking time? Like those people.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you need to talk to. But then you need to do either the market research calls or record conversations you have with those type of people. You need to find them first, and then you need to figure out how they refer to what problem or solution you have. So, like for me, for example, no one, unless you're corporate or higher up or you came from corporate, is going to go, yes, I need help with my operations.
Unless they're like me and they used to be a director of operations and right. They just don't want to do it themselves.
Right. Then you're gonna know what it is. Like, unless you have that corporate background, you have an understanding what operations is. Most of the time it's like, oh God, I'm not big enough for operations. Well, if you have a freaking business, you have operations. But I can't use that language. I can do education to teach them this is what you're thinking actually means operations. I have to use the language that people I work with use, the emotions that they feel, the experiences that they have, and then, hi, I have the solution to this. But you have to use their language. They're not going to use my language. They're not going to use, do you have the right systems and workflows and processes in a team? Well, I'm a solopreneur. I don't have a team. Okay, great. So this isn't for me, when in reality it is for them.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like you have to learn to translate. And it's hard for me. It's still hard for me, even though I've figured out a thing or two. But it's still hard. It's an ongoing process. But if you're not selling them, and you're not selling them to those people that are, you would just clone 5,000 times over. And I'll use the words of my coach, the chicken soup for the soul clients, like those that just like feed your soul and just light you up. You have to shift how you talk to them. You have to shift how you're getting your messaging across. You have to talk their language, speak to their desire, resonate with the emotions that they're feeling, resonate with the situations and the experiences that they are having. Then they're going to go, oh, wait, that's me. Have you ever scrolled through Facebook, LinkedIn, or purchased one of those things? What made you purchase one of those things? What made you resonate with that offer? Like, think back to the last thing you purchased from a post or from an ad or from anything. What made you go to that, and what made you resonate with it? I mean, it could be like jeans or something. I don't even know why I'm coming up with this, but like jeans, like you have a product and they're like tummy control jeans, and you're like, oh my God, they're tummy control jeans. That's what's going to make me buy them. It's the same thing. It's that message. It's what those jeans provide. Tummy control. Great. You spoke my language. Thanks. I'm on board with that. Right? Think about to anything that you purchase. Why did you purchase that?
Yeah, what made you actually want to purchase it? And it probably wasn't, it wasn't the thing that those jean manufacturers, right, like made the jeans, like they didn't, that's not what they were thinking about. They were thinking, okay, this serves a solution, but their marketing people were like, okay, we're going to take your thoughts and now we're going to match it with the words of the people who we know want these jeans, and then we're going to sell it to them. Because that's
they're not talking about, oh, this one it's a nice polyester and spandex and whatever else they make jeans out of. It's this specific blend, and then they're made with these specific stitching and all of that. No one cares. Okay, you're gonna go buy a pair of jeans because it's the right length and it's the right fit and they're stretchy and they're comfortable and they suck things in or lift things up, like whatever these jeans do. Like, we're gonna smooth out your cellulite, or we're gonna lift your butt, or it's straight leg jeans or boot cut jeans, or you don't care how they're made. You don't care the bones of them. You care what the solution or the cuteness that they provide. That's why you bought them. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I came up with jeans today.
Maybe you're in the market for some new jeans.
I did, I bought some. That's probably why.
I love it. And then P.S. I just wanted to say that none of our comments are actually coming through right now. So if you're commenting, I'm looking at the Facebook group. There was only a couple, and it was just like minimal ones. So it wasn't like questions or anything. But just FYI, if you are watching us live right now, we are not seeing comments coming through. So it might just take us a little longer. I am popping over to our Facebook group so that I can see them in there. But they're supposed to come through to our technical, our space here on Restream. So back to jeans. No, just kidding.
Because that's what you came to watch, right? No. But just using that as an example, especially for all you women out there. I mean, just think about why you buy what you buy. Why do you buy the makeup that you buy? Why do you buy the course that's gonna, drawing a blank. Why do you buy the courses that you buy? Why do you join the master classes you join? Why do you do anything that you do? Why do you purchase what you purchase? The marketing resonates with you. You see the Amazon or the Maybe you see like the Publix commercials where it's just basically like the families and the around the holidays and all of that, and at the end it flashes up Publix or something, or Food Line. Like they're catering to that feeling, that good comfort food and gathering for the holidays, and food surrounds that.
Mhm.
Like they're marketing to the feeling, the desire, the what you want, not the food.
Yeah. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I think hopefully, if that makes sense, let's just say if that makes sense to you, go ahead and comment. If not, let us know what questions you have because I am going to pop over. I'm going to check in Facebook. Like I said, it's just not coming through here. But ultimately, what we're saying though, is the thing that needs to shift in order for you to I put in the wording wrong about the description there probably, but what needs to shift in order for you to sell your programs effortlessly is your language. Like, it's not that your program is bad. I mean, that could be, but that's a whole nother issue to deal with. But let's say you have the perfect program, right? It's perfect for these amazing dream clients that the dream clients are the people that show up, they take the action, they buy without hesitation. And they're not the people saying, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. It's not saying like sometimes people genuinely can't afford things, but a lot of times people are just saying that because they don't actually see why it is relevant for them, why they should want that or need that or how it's going to help them. So when that language shifts, so will your results. Like and like I said, I told you guys we were talking about this in one of my mastermind groups today, and it was literally like one word sometimes that's all that has to change. And like we were talking about, I'm not gonna give away who it was. So it was a business coach, I'll say that because it was someone who's in business. And, she was talking about something using the words like, are you, oh God, what was the word? Hiding. And she's like, I recognized, like after our conversations and everything, that word right there. All she had to do was swap out the word hiding and put in the word avoiding. It completely changed the whole tone of her message and who she was talking to. Because the people that she wanted to talk to are the people that are successful already in their business. They're making money, but they avoid this thing that she teaches them to do because they don't think they're good at it. So they're not hiding. Hiding is the other people that she used to be calling in that were like beginners and weren't confident in themselves. So they're going through they're at a very early stage in their journey. And by telling people in her content that they were hiding, they weren't resonating. So she wasn't selling things because it didn't actually make sense for them. But just that one little shift completely changes everything. So when it comes to your language, sometimes it's much bigger than just one word. I'm not going to say it's always that easy, but when you're clear on who you're talking to, when you know who your work is for and you can speak to them in a way that resonates with them, it makes selling, well, it's not even a thing. Like sales really isn't a thing. I no longer do sales calls. Like, unless somebody like begs me to do a sales call, and I know like that's not the way for everybody, but it's because I can showcase through my content what it's like to work with me, what that's going to look like, what you can expect. You can come in, ask me some questions in the DMs. I tell you what the offer is, and bam. I mean, because it's that simple, because my language is clear. So I don't have to get on, and I'm not attracting people that I have to convince. A sales call, a lot of times you might feel like you're getting on a sales call and you have to convince people. It's because your language is wrong and you're calling in the wrong people. Or if you're getting a lot of people on sales calls and then you're like, why am I here? I'm talking to this person. This is such a waste of my time. They're obviously just a freebie seeker and just want to like suck up my knowledge, because you're talking to the wrong people. You're talking to the wrong people and you need to stop, period. Sorry. I'm going to check now if there's any comments.
Oh, you're tirade. I'm going to let you keep going on that one. No, it's, and like you mentioned, I'm glad you brought up that sometimes it's just a simple shift. It can be as simple as one word. It can be as simple as, the type of post, or, if does the offer you sell, if they need to connect with you a little bit more, maybe utilizing more video to showcase it and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Really just kind of changing how you're getting your messaging across, and then also what language you're using and what you're saying is what's going to pull that ideal client in, and
Yeah.
what's going to make it so that if you do get on the sales call, like I have a sales call model, but I typically average 80% close rate.
Because you know who you're talking to.
Because I know who I'm talking to. They already have a clue. We're just going back. This is just a chance for me to dive a little bit deeper with them. But I already know who I'm talking to. So I don't have to get on that many because they're already pre-screened. So your messaging can fit in different ways. Like Lori said, she doesn't really utilize sales calls. I do. It's the nature of our offers. It's the nature of what we provide.
Right. But
who I'm talking to, I don't have to be on 20 sales calls to sell one. That is adorable.
I have a visitor. I'm sorry.
You have a visitor.
I just want to introduce him.
But yeah, that if you're calling in the right people, and you're almost, even if you do use sales calls and you're pre-screening, your close rate goes up a whole lot because you're already talking to the right people. You're talking to the people that 5 minutes in the conversation, what I get is, oh my God, you're the right person. I knew this was right when I jumped on the call. 5 minutes into the conversation, I'm like, okay, not a waste of my time. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't tell you in the beginning. And the thing is I have a background in sales and marketing, and I was talking about this stuff to my clients and my content. I had done it for years and I knew this, but when I first started out in my business, I was getting on so many sales calls that were with the wrong people, who were those people that I was describing, who there's no way, I knew that they couldn't afford it. And sometimes they would say that outright at the beginning of the call. I'm like, well, I can't afford to buy anything. Well, then why did you book this damn call? Or they just wouldn't show up. And they would just ghost me. And then I'd have this time blocked on my calendar, which sucks, because that could have gone somewhere else. I could have done something else with that time and I had blocked it for them. And the reason this was happening was because my messaging was off, because I was, I think, caught up in I don't know what the word I want to use is, but basically what everyone else was doing, right? Caught up in what everyone else was doing and thinking I needed to say something different or do something. And I would see something that someone else said or did. I'm like, ooh, I like that. And then you're all over the place and you're attracting people who are all over the damn place. And that's why you get those people on your sales calls, is because you're not talking to the right people. So moral of the story here, if you haven't figured it out, aligning your offers to your perfect people starts with you knowing who those people are, knowing their problems, knowing them, problems, their issues, the things, the way they do inside and out, almost better than they probably know themselves. And then taking all of that forward into your content and speaking straight up truth, speaking directly to those people about their issues, their problems, the things they need to do, like we're doing right here, telling you, right, exactly what you need to do. This right here is gold. The fact that this is free, by the way, you should bookmark this, come back, because we're giving you away information that some people don't get until they're in a paid world of somebody. And this is something that is going to save you time. It's going to save you money, and it is going to help you make a shitload of money if you listen to it. Guaranteed. Guarantee it. And
so aligning, looking at all of the, before you start going out to learning all different methods and all kinds of things, look at your offer. Is it you rolled up in a ball, in a little offer? My blueprint is me in my head rolled up in a big nice bow that I deliver. But I was also not delivering it to the right people when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
It was great, I have this great offer, but I was talking to the wrong people. But I thought I was talking to the right people. So this is another piece to it. where you can shift your audience because your offer actually doesn't align with who you thought you were supposed to talk to. It aligns with somebody different.
Yeah.
And that's okay. The sooner you learn that, though, the quicker you can move past it.
Yeah.
Don't do me. The sooner you learn that, the quicker you can move past it is, but you've got to be open to not just buying like all of the things, but really going, okay, how can I take a look at what I've put together? How can I take a look at the language I'm using? How can I take a look at the messaging that I'm using? And start there. If you need a course later, great. But if you figure out the root of your issue, so like my offer was phenomenal. I was just talking to the wrong people.
And the thing is you probably weren't selling it as much as you wanted to, or as much as you thought it would. So then you were also starting to feel shitty about yourself because you were starting to doubt yourself and your offer and questioning it. And that's what happened.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, like you know what you're doing, but then you like are like, why the fuck isn't this selling? Right. And it's so frustrating because you know what you're doing. You know that this, like, you are holding on to a freaking pot of gold right now, and nobody's buying, no one's listening. Why? That is why.
But don't fall into the trap of, oh, it's priced too high, it's priced too low, it's all of that. There may be some pricing issues. That is not the root of your problem.
No, because
chances have to look at what you're doing and how you're messaging it and who you're talking to first, and getting clear on all of that mess before you figure out pricing.
Yeah. And the thing is, well, it's not even about pricing. It's really just like feeling into where do you actually feel the value of it is. Because I've had people say, like, what should I price this at? And, you know, this, and this, and I compare it to that. No, like really what it comes down to is what is it? What do you feel the value is? And when you own that freaking value and you own it in your content and you speak the language of the people that it's right for, they will buy it, whether it's $1 or, well, they probably won't buy it at $1 because, to be honest, sometimes that higher level person is going to question your low prices, but you think by making it a lower price, it's going to be easier for you to sell it. It's not. Having this clarity around your language, that's what's going to make it easier to sell regardless of the price. Because when you talk to your dream clients in their language, they're going to listen to you. They're going to want to buy your shit every single time if they know that you get them and that you can help them to solve their issue. Period.
Yeah. If you're pricing like you're embarrassed to say it, it comes out like it's $2,000. Like you can't even get it out.
Why are they going to be the person?
It's not right. Like you haven't matched up the value with what you're offering, and there's some self-confidence there. When you're like, no, I know my shit. I know what I'm doing. This is what it is, and it literally rolls off the tongue. There's confidence there. People know you know what you're talking about, and you know what the value is, period. There's got to be a confidence behind it, so there has to be a match with your pricing and your value. And so it's not just a matter of, oh, how many hours do I spend on this and a dollar amount per hour. Like, I mean, you can do all those calculations, which is great. Totally the math operational person that would do that, but had to learn my lesson there too. But it's value.
Yeah.
It has to match, but you have to convey it. So unless it rolls off the tongue with the utmost confidence, you got shit to review.
Yeah. Which I'm going to take this opportunity here. I did drop a link in the comments in the Facebook, the Success Zone group. We can drop it in the LinkedIn comments as well. Otherwise, just message either one of us if you're on LinkedIn watching this, because I think we're both broadcasting potentially to LinkedIn too. And we can send you the link. But I am running a masterclass next week that's called Content That Captivates. I had to think about that for a moment. Sorry, because I also have a mastermind that is Captivate and Connect. So, you know, content that I don't even know. I have a master class next week. That's so bad that I forgot it.
Captivates.
Yes. Okay. That master class is the one that is next week.
Yeah. If you want to figure out the root and really dive into your messaging to make sure you're conveying the value of your offer and talking and speaking the language to that ideal person to make it a no-brainer, Yeah, click the link.
Yeah, click the link. It's free, by the way. It's free, so it's literally a no-brainer.
It is. It take the time. You don't have to go buy all of the fancy things and like shiny object syndrome and oh look squirrel, there's something else. Like that might be my problem. No. Stop and take a look at the root. If you're clear on the offer, you're clear on your messaging, conveying to it, and you're clear on the ideal client, then you're going to get the offers that sell. Then you're going to get the 80% close rates on sales calls. I went 2 months in a row with 100% close rate because I talked to the right people.
Like, stop wasting your time doing all of the things. And, the thing is I know, like, I'm talking to those of you, I want to make that clear too, that have been probably doing this for a while, not just those that are starting out, because those that are starting out, I get it that you're trying to figure things out. But if you've been doing this for a while, the thing that really needs to happen is that you need to trust yourself to know that you know what you're talking about. And if you have all these pieces in place, there's literally no reason that you shouldn't be able to sell your offers consistently, and that you should be able to sell them for what you actually find them to be worth to the people that you want to sell them to when these things are in place. So I did drop the link, like I said, in the comments. I'll pop it up on the screen too, I guess, just for someone, since I can't see comments. But that is the page to go ahead and sign up if you want to join. It's next Tuesday, the 20th at 1 Eastern. And that one where I'm going to go deep into the exact things that I teach my clients, as well as the things that I use myself when it comes to creating captivating content that gets people not just engaging, but people buying from your content, jumping into your DMs, asking about your offers and wanting to buy them just from your content alone. So if you want to join us, go ahead, register. But either way, whether you're coming or not, if your offers are not selling the way that you want them to, these things that we reviewed today are going to be very, very important for you. Very important. And I'm happy to answer questions. Again, if you tag me in the comments here in the live, in the Facebook group, Mara's on top of it on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you can go ahead and tag Mara because she's much more present on LinkedIn than I am. But otherwise, just reach out, send a message, ask a question. I'm happy to answer them and to just kind of point you in the right direction, because you can probably tell I have a little passion behind what we're speaking about today, maybe. These are the lives where my husband ends up coming to me afterwards and he's like, wow, that was intense. But it's because I just want you to know the truth. I want you to know that you don't need all the bells and whistles. You don't need a better sales page. You don't need, to be posting in 30 million different groups. What you need is this clarity, and what you need is to connect your language to the language of the people that your offers are for, so they freaking buy like crazy all the time, not just some of the time. And so you can actually trace back, how am I getting these awesome people in my world? Because you've probably had a taste of these awesome people before, but you haven't been able to figure out how you got them. It's probably they responded to one or two things that you said that actually resonated. So if every single thing that you say resonates with your dream client, selling to them consistently over and over again is like easy. Easy.
And you can do that by getting feedback. When you're done working with a client, ask for a feedback call, ask for a video testimonial, and literally ask them straight out, what made you work with me? And have them describe it in their own words, what resonated, how they found you, what made them want to work with you. That's the language you speak. That right there is gold for your content.
Yeah. Only dream clients, though, people, not the people.
Not everybody.
Put the pins in your eyes, right? Those aren't the people. Do not ask them any questions, because that will just throw you off. Okay. So no pin.
The chicken for the soul clients.
So I hope this was helpful. I know, like I said, we haven't been able to interact in the comments, but I have been looking. Doesn't look like there's been a lot. So we've seen you on here. We know you're there. We know you're listening. So if you have questions, just let us know. And otherwise, I mean, I think we've said everything that we need to say. I could literally probably talk for days on this. I could talk all the master class next Tuesday if you all let me, but instead I'm just going to save it until Tuesday. So if you're not registered, please go ahead, use the link below in the comments, and register for next week's master class, and let me show you exactly how you can take your content to the next level and have people in your DMs over and over again asking to work with you. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Awesome. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week.
Okay, talk to you.